All right, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. That looks dull. All right, that looks better. A couple of interesting updates with this app. I could see you guys before I go live now, sort of like in YouTube, which is pretty cool. Which is pretty cool. Thank you for 5x5, Mr. Landfill, Coffee, McBean, Dobie, Dan H. Thank you for the 5x5, guys. Appreciate it as always. Let me find this thing on YouTube. So I spent the last 20 minutes cleaning up a mess that I thought would never happen to me. And not that I ever said out loud or even in my head that, oh, it's never going to happen. But I'm making a protein shake, and I put all the things that are needed in it, and I open it up to look at it. I put it down. I go to get something else to throw in. I grab it and start shaking it, but I forgot to screw the top back on, so boom, all over the place. So I spent 20 minutes cleaning that shit up just now, and I couldn't do anything but laugh. I couldn't get mad. I wasn't angry. I was just like, you fucking kidding me? Is this what old age is like? Like that one fuck up? Forget it. McBean, I'm using StreamYard. Randy and JF, thank you for the 5x5, guys. Appreciate it. Retired, Klaus Schwab and Noodlehead, thank you for the 5x5. Kathy, Michelle, Raccoon Eyes, Eric, Dan H, thank you for the 5x5. Yeah, so the shit was all over the place. Oh, McBean said we all done that. That was, listen, I've been drinking protein shakes for like 20-something years now. That is the first time that has ever happened to me. So I'm going to equate that to being old, because that shit's insane. I said, like never has it happened. And normally when I take it off, I leave the lid off so that I know that it's unscrewed, but I was like, holy shit, it got all over me. I just washed this fucking hoodie. Now I got to put it back in the wash, I guess. It's just fucking, it's just bad, man. It was just, at that moment, I almost started crying. The Incredible Hulk song at the end when David Banner walks away, that started playing in my head because I'm like, I'm getting old. I was just like, I got all sad and shit after I stopped laughing. I'm like, this is what old age is like. Stupid shit like leaving your stove on or forgetting your keys in your apartment, which I've done numerous times, by the way, here. So, and here, the worst part about it is that, no, the good part about locking myself out here is that if I do, I can climb over the terrace to get back into the apartment, provided I leave something open. But a lot of the times, it's locked. So a couple of times I got lucky, and other times I had to wait to my brother to get here to unlock the fucking door. He lives in PA, so I don't like bothering him. But yeah, this old age shit, man. You know, getting up, your knees hurt, my fucking ankles are so tight, and I do stretch now, but still. I'm gonna start taking medication soon. I might as well start watching Golden Girls and getting ready for fucking retirement home. Because if that's the beginning of it, I don't want any part of it. That is terrible. Found my keys in the freezer once. See, shit like that. I don't wanna. Oh, God. I really don't. It's just, it's incredible, man. And I got to work out after this. I got to do something because this is no good. Should have your brother on your show. Yeah, my brother's too, like, shy. He wouldn't be on here. My brother's the complete opposite of me. Like a polar opposite of me. But yeah. Fuck it, man. I was just like, man, this is just like it's one thing after the other too. Once you start recognizing old age, it's just one thing after the other. Gray chest hairs, I was like, oh, right. I'm fucking hair growing out of my ears, fucking back pain, all kinds of shit. I'm just like, man, I should just fucking plant my ass in the fucking chair, not this chair, my rocking chair over here, and just that's it. Call it quits. No more videos. Get a life alert, just in case I fall down, because that's next. I don't know. Start going to bingos and meeting women like Rosario and fucking Gertrude. Meeting those two ladies and fucking bingo night. And they have bingo night like disco night, so that those people could reminisce on the days they used to play disco music and bingo at the same time. Can't lose with that. Go to the fucking bodega with the 6 old Puerto Rican dudes who are hanging out in front, not drinking beer because they can't do it anymore because of their high blood pressure. So they're all drinking like chocolate milk or Yoo-Hoos, right? This is where we're destined to go. This is our path. I'm gonna start fucking crocheting next. Oh my god, this is bad. I couldn't believe this happened. Winter Homestead says she's taking the organic sea moss. The sea moss is the shit. I swear by it. I gotta find another place. Actually, somebody sent me a link. I gotta order some. But I swear by that stuff. I was taking it, man, and I was like, fucking. Maybe I gotta start taking that again before I fucking. The next time you guys will see me, I have a fucking cane and a walker, not knowing which one to use. Right? As I go out with my fucking Nike shoes and my sweatpants because I can't get in anything else. Hardcore. Hardcore with the Yoo-Hoo. 47 next month for me. Noodlehead, it's all downhill after 45. You already know that. I'm crocheting now. I was watching a video, and the lady wasn't that old, but she was talking about how she likes to. It was sewing or something to that effect, and I'm like, oh my god. And she was in her 40s, maybe early 50s, and I'm like, this is how it starts. Oh god. I want to be like McBean, fucking 89 years old and still lifting weights. That's exactly where I want to be. I want to be 47. Mobutu will help you. Yeah. All the shit I've talked about Mobutu. Blue blocker glasses, those are next. I can't wait to get those. Awesome. I can't fucking see. I mean, like, my eye exercise, I stopped doing. And I noticed when I was doing it, my eyes were getting better, but you got to constantly do them for, like, the rest of your life. But when I wasn't doing them, or rather now that I haven't, everything is fucking out to here. It's like, this is my fucking life. My fucking eyes are bad. Oh my god. I'm gonna be wearing a fucking monocle like the Monopoly guy. Anyway, that's not the point. The point of this is we got a lot to cover. Not a lot, but we got a few things to cover for today. Sorry about the old age rant. It's bullshit, man. It really is. I was walking the other day, man, and my knee, it did some weird shit. I was walking, and it just fucking gave out on me. And I was like, what the fuck? Yo, they're gonna find me on the fucking floor here, screaming, I can't get up. It was the weirdest thing, and my hip started hurting for no apparent reason. I was walking a straight line. It wasn't like I moved side to side or anything. Walking a straight line, and all of a sudden, pain kicked in. I was like, oh shit. Yo, fuck this. And listen, I still work out, I still stretch, but yeah, man, fuck it. Welcome to Oval 45. Yep. Angry's falling apart. It's just insanity. I mean, listen, right now I'm still doing good in other aspects, but it's just every day something is notifying you that you're getting old. Just holy shit. Fat man prepper. I might as well. You're big. Yeah, I know a lot of older people say that. You're 40 what? 47? I wish I was 47. I'm like, yeah, I wish I was 37 right now. I'd give anything to be 27. Well, not anything, but... Ortiz, like, you got to work through the pain. No shit, you got to work through the pain. You don't have a choice. It's not like I get the pain and then I fall on the ground and just lay there like my life is over. But, you got to work through the pain. Wallace says I'll be 66 in December. Now, listen, a lot of us are still functioning. It's just the daily reminders that you're getting old that suck. The last inning. I tell people, the last leg of my life, right? After, 50? That's the last leg of your life? Because you only have, theoretically, after 50, you only have, not theoretically, but on average, after 50, you have 23 years left. Isn't that some crazy shit? 23 years left. Fuck that, right? So, and that, I have 26 years. Because on average we live to 73. Women live a little longer. I think it's 79, and men live to 70 or 71 on average. So, good times, good fucking times. The countdown begins, gentlemen. The countdown begins. Plan is your friend. Oh, listen, all of the weird shit that I have going on, just like, it sucks, man. Every day I wake up, I feel young, and then I do a stretch, and I'm like, oh shit, my back, like, it's that every fucking day. Yes, Mr. Landfill, I saw all of the Incredible Hulk movies, TV movies on Channel 4. The one with Thor, the shitty Thor on it. I saw that one. And there was one with Daredevil, where they introduced Daredevil for the first time. And then I guess, I didn't see the last one. I didn't see that one where Bill Bixby was dying. The Death of the Incredible Hulk, I didn't see that. I gotta look for that one. The Death of the Incredible Hulk. No shit. Senior citizen discount at 50. I'm in. Yeah, so if you got 10 years left, James, not jinxing it, enjoy it because it comes fast. And it's funny when you're a child. Everything seems so slow. Your childhood's like the longest time you have to be in adolescence. Oh, the shortest time you have to be in adolescence, but it feels like the longest. And then you become 25 or 30 or 40, and you look back on your younger years, you go, that was fast. But as a kid, you thought it was going to last forever. And it seemed like forever. These comments are making my day. Steel City said 1977. Same here. 1977. It might as well have been in 1947. Holy shit. But, yeah, listen, it's just one of those things, man. Getting old. Don't take medicine, please. Bill Cullen. So I've been avoiding... I haven't had a reason to take medication yet. I have had my checkups, and everything's been, clean. So I've been lucky on that aspect. So, hopefully I can go another couple years without taking any. But I do talk to guys I work with who are younger than me or about my age who are on medications. That's insanity. Right? So it just, and the shit that they're taking it for, I'm like, why are you guys taking it? Well, I have high blood pressure, I have this. But how about stop taking the meds, change your diet, and work out a little more, and you'll definitely see a decrease. One guy's a workout fanatic, and I said, you got to change your diet. That's probably why you have high blood pressure, None of our issues are chronic. Our issues are food, which makes it seem like it's chronic. A lot of diseases are not passed on because of your genetics. It's passed on because of how you've eaten in your household since you were a child. You have to change that. Now, some things are hereditary. That's without a doubt. But a lot of what they're telling us is hereditary, like high blood pressure, it's not hereditary. High blood pressure is based on your diet. It is why when a lot of us get older, we don't have those issues because we ate differently for the last 10, 20 years. Because we don't eat like our parents ate, right? And being that, now a lot of us are aware that this processed foods are really bad for us. A lot of us are not eating it anymore, and we're having a better outcome. Oh, prune juice. Yeah, I can't stand prune juice. Oh. That is disgusting. Gen X is 1965 through 1980. So a lot of us are Gen X, but there are a lot of older people on here too, which I do appreciate a lot of you old guys on here, being that you guys are older than me, but, and still listen to a young whippersnapper, as you guys would put it. Not really. Change your diet, eat smaller, work out more. Lifting weights, guys, is one of the most important things for your nervous system right now. And your entire body. Lifting weights is it. There's so many benefits to lifting weights. Which I got to start writing out my my plan for the show, for the talk next week in Tennessee. But Stray Kitten, I see you. I see your comment anyway. But yeah, so fuck it, man. 61 blows. I'm sorry, 47 blows. I can't wait till fucking 3 more years when I turn 50. That's gonna really fucking suck. Gonna have a woe is me party, you know, feeling bad for yourself. And granted, it's part of life. You can't feel bad for getting old. You should be blessed that you're getting old, because there are a lot of people that will never reach this age, let alone the age of 61 or 78 or 86, right? If you reached 86, you should definitely be fucking thanking your lucky stars. And not lucky stars, but thanking God, rather, that you were able to get to that age. Because there are people, man, they're dying way too soon, way too young. Steel City, I do something called a daily 50. I don't do it every day, I do it every other day, which reminds me I have to do it today. But it's 50 push-ups, 50 squats, 50 lunges, 50-second wall sit, 50-second planks. I did that for about 2-3 months, and then I introduced 50 jump ropes in between each of those exercises. So I call it the daily 50. But and now I can do 60 push-ups at a clip before I have 40 before I have to slow down, 60 before I'm struggling, and then I can get to like 70, and then I'm dead. My heart gives out. Boom. So I was able to retire at 55. City Prepper, very good. He was able to retire at 55. When I retire, I'll be 53. Right? So it's not too bad. Oh, Straight Kitten, what eye exercise? I have to find a video on it. But basically, it's looking back and forward 10 times, up and down 10 times, diagonal from left to right, or from right to left, and then from left to right 10 times, diagonal, and then circular motions in one direction 10 times, and in the opposite direction 10 times. And then the focus point. Focus on your finger, bring it out, focus on something past your finger, focus on your finger again, back to your eyes like this. Do that 10 times. Hopefully that helped. But if I can find the video, it's a bunch of it's Indian people. You know how they are. They fucking know all the secrets of fucking the universe and shit. They have these exercises that actually work. If you are wearing glasses, you might, if you just started wearing glasses, you can get away with doing these exercises and strengthening your eyes. The reason why our eyes fail is because we become dependent on eyeglasses, and the muscles in our eyes start to fail. If that makes sense. So I do it. When I was doing it about a week straight, I saw a huge difference. I stopped doing it. I could pretty much I could read from across the room bigger titles, but I could see some of the numbers, like, which is probably 15 feet away from me. I could see the numbers, but I can't read those words because they're really small now. But I can still read shit like peak refuel or the coffee grinder away from me, which is in French for some fucking reason. Don't know why. But I can still read that far. But anything this close, I can't see it anymore. So I have to do the mind exercises. I'm not getting reading glasses. Nope. I'm going to listen. Until I can't fucking see, like, Though the other day I was reading Atomic Habits, and I was like, shit, man. I had to hold it like pretty far away. I got to get back into the eye exercises before I start reading again. Because reading has been a little frustrating because I can't really see clear. And then we had cheaters in the firehouse, and I put them on, and I was like, fuck! Threw the cheaters across the room. I think they broke because I realized that I needed glasses. So if I start doing the eye exercises, I will not need the glasses. Or at least I can head it off as long as possible. Yeah. Yes, and if you have reading glasses, you can still turn it back around. you can still turn it back around. If your eyes are just generally bad because they're deteriorating, that's a different story. Fat man prepper, yeah, pretty much. All right, guys, sorry for the offbeat conversation, but let's talk about where is it? Okay, so this is interesting. These are two different articles talking about the same thing. This is talking about a mass casualty event. Now, the United States government is getting ready for a mass casualty event. Excuse me, a mass casualty event that they think could happen to them. Right. So, in case something happens because of what happened to Trump, what happened to was it with a politician on a golf course or something like that? Someone tried to kill him a few years ago, whatever it was. They're starting to see the uptick in threats on their lives because they're bags of shit. So they're coming up with a continuity of government plan. Now, keep in mind, all of this going on with the politicians, Russia trying to make a move on Alaska, and now they're coming out with a continuity plan that's supposed to strengthen the Constitution and how government is ran after they die or if a lot of them die. Someone's like, get them glasses, homie. Nope. I refuse to. I'd rather have my fucking kids read to me before I get glasses. That's how bad it is. I refuse to get glasses. Anyway, excuse me. All right, lawmakers prepare for mass casualty event, push constitutional amendment to undermine election integrity, and control House vacancies in a national crisis. As a political tension rises in the United States, Congress is preparing for the possibility for a major mass casualty event that could dramatically change its makeup. With recent assassination attempts and increasingly heated public discourse, lawmakers are considering drastic steps, including a possible constitutional amendment that would allow for direct appointment of House representatives in the event of mass vacancies. According to the Constitution, any emerging vacancies in the House must be filled through election, unlike Senate vacancies that are appointed. And that was a separate article that I didn't finish copy and pasting. I'm not sure why, but this is the second article that I came across. Scared by violence, lawmakers plan for the possible mass casualty event. Imagine the unthinkable, a mass shooting of members of Congress that leave a large swath of the country's unrepresented, and shift the balance of political power in Washington. Now, when I read that first paragraph, the mass shooting of members in Congress was a giant red flag that stood out like a movie to me. Nonetheless, when I looked at that, I was like, that was a peculiar event to focus on. It could have been anything. It could have been Congress at a meeting and the chambers just goes up in flames with all of them sitting inside. Sort of like the TV show with Kiefer Sutherland. What the hell was that called? Designated Survivor. Right, Designated Survivor, sort of like that. That was a good movie, a TV show, right up until the last season where they fucking completely detonated it with a nuclear bomb. All right, you watch the show, you get to the last season, you're going to be really, really disappointed about the amount of bullshit in the last season. But still, it was a good show. Season 1 and 2 were very good. In the current political environment, such an outbreak of violence is not an unthinkable fact or situation, as it used to be, according to bipartisan collection of House members. The attempted assassination of a member at a congressional baseball team, not golf, baseball team practice in 2017, the violent attack on the U.S. Capitol January 6th, and a dramatic spike in threats against members, and the most recently, and I hate this part, a possible second assassination attempt against former President Donald Trump, highlights the need for Congress to ensure it can continue to govern in the aftermath of mass violence. So they are getting ready for their demise, is what they're doing. One channel reported this as a mass casualty event for people. It's not for people. This is for Congress and Senate or politicians alike. Now, again, I find it interesting that this article was written and they go a possible second assassination attempt. This guy wanted to kill Donald Trump, and this asshole wrote a possible attempt. And meanwhile, they make it as a possible assassination attempt. They don't even mention the first assassination attempt in this article. So I took this article for what it was worth. Again, liberal lunacy, because they omitted the first attempt. They labeled the second attempt a possibility, but then the Congress at the baseball team practice, it was not an impossible attempt. It was an attempt on his life. This article was written by a scumbag. Anyway, to address such a scenario, these 4 House members, 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, are pushing an unlikely solution: a constitutional amendment that would allow members to be replaced quickly in the event of a mass casualty event. Now, when I read that part, I thought of what Hitler did when he was running with, I forgot the party he was running with, but once he got into office, he turned around and stabbed the entire party in the back by jailing damn near all of them. Putting them in jail, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of them rotted in jail and or died in jail during his duration as leader of Germany. This constitutional amendment that would allow members to be replaced quickly is a bad idea, because if something does happen, which I all but guarantee it will if they change this, you can have not a mutiny, you can have a government takeover on your hands. So, Steel City, yes, something definitely would pop up if they can make this amendment. If they can't, they won't do it. Someone says you're freezing. The chat did stop because I noticed it here, and then it just shot up. I'm not sure why. But I'm watching myself, and it seems to be good. But yes, the chat seems to be lagging. And I have 45 thumbs up on my end, but someone said 45 on theirs. But there's no lag on my computer, and there's no lag on the iPad. But thank you for noticing, guys. I appreciate that. No, I'm not freezing. I'm watching myself on the iPad. Big Saw Cat, see your test, see the thumbs up. And guys, yeah, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever floats your boat. In addition to assuring uninterrupted representation of constituents, the amendment would discourage attempt to use violence to sway the balance of powers in the House. Okay. So in addition to ensuring uninterrupted representation, the amendment would discourage attempts to use violence. That's bullshit. That's a loophole. That's an absolute loophole. We have seen 300% increase in threats against members over the last 7 years, according to Capitol Police. One of 4 lawmakers pushing the issue in an environment where we have seen growing tendencies towards political violence. Imagine horrifically a baseball practice where someone had the intentions and better aim, had bad intentions and better aim. You would literally flip the majority for 3 to 4 months, which I think is a frightening incentive for political violence. According to survey at state election officials, states need between 3 or 4 months on average to hold a special election to replace a deceased House member, a function of the time it takes to print ballots, in addition to a federal law requiring ballots to be mailed to overseas and military voters at least 45 days ahead of the election. So they want to circumvent this process. That makes sense, because then they could just put in who they want to put in. because though they say that they're going to put something in there to deter violence as a reason to replacing people, something happens on a mass scale, they could then replace who they want. The continuity amendment would also deny a would-be assassin to flip the power control of the House from one party to another. Again, that is just a loophole. Like, they're going to put that in there, and if something happens, they're still going to put in who they want. So a would-be assassin, first of all, a would-be assassin wouldn't flip the House. He would be hired by somebody to do it. So they would hire an assassin, he would pop whoever he needs to pop, and then he would lie back into the shadows. He would fold back into the shadows, and then they were like, oh my God, Representative such and such is dead. We need to replace him immediately. And then whoever they use to replace is going to be somebody, a puppet. And they're going to have puppets lined up for this position. And they're going to have people who they want so that they can flip votes. This is a bad idea. The longer I read this, the more I start realizing this is a bad idea. Now, it was a bad idea as soon as they announced it, but this is a really bad idea. Enacting a constitutional amendment is difficult, requiring 2/3 of the vote of both the House of Congress, as well as a ratification by 3/4 of the late legislator. The last ratification took place in '92 when the 27th Amendment was adopted, requiring that any pay raise enacted by Congress for itself may not go into effect until after the next election. Congress should eliminate the incentive for an individual to commit political violence for the purpose of tipping the balance of power. Yeah. This sounds like bullshit. Basically, guys, they're trying to fix in their favor how they can replace political power. They're not saying that. This article's trying to say they're not going to use violence to flip political power, but this is exactly what they're saying. They're trying to flip political power so that something drastic can happen and they can put in who they want. Now, interestingly enough, back in April, FEMA updated their Managing of Mass Fatalities, a toolkit for planning. They updated it in March of this year, and then last year, a couple weeks ago, the politicians that be are planning for a mass casualty event. Now, a mass casualty event that would displace a lot of politicians would have to be a grand bomb, nuclear war, or civil unrest of something we've never seen, which would be civil war. That's the only thing that will replace it. So now, something else that we should talk about, or rather, surprised and disappointed. All independent board members of 23andMe resigned, leaving only the CEO. So a day after a proposed to settle the data breach lawsuit for $30 million, an 18-year-old genetic testing company, 23andMe, now faces another public hurdle. 7 independent directors of its board resigned on Tuesday, I think it was last Tuesday, through a pointed letter addressing to CEO and whatever her name is, who is now the only remaining member of the board. Resigning directors, among whom were YouTube CEO Neil Mohan, no shit, and something VC Roy Botha, both called out. While I think this lady used to be the YouTube CEO as well, for not submitting a fully financed, fully diligence and actionable proposal to take the company private over the past 5 months. They wrote that their strategic direction for 23andMe was different from Ant's, whatever her last name. I think it's Wojcicki. Because of that, the differences, and because of your contracted voting power, we believe that it is in our best interest of the company's shareholders that we resign from the board rather than have a protracted and distracting differences of view with you as to the direction of the company. excuse me, resign, not submitting a full functional actionable proposal to take the company private. All right. So this is where the hammer drops. That thing I talked about last night. That could be very well a possibility. All right. They wanted to take the company private for a reason, and I think I know why. Though this lady is she's not a squared away lady. She's not fucking righteous. She's not doing it for the right reasons. She's doing it for money. If they go public, they do lose a certain amount of money. I'm not sure what it is. Excuse me. Well, Wuchiki, whatever her name is, told employees in a memo on Tuesday that she was surprised and disappointed by the resignation and would immediately be finding replacement directors. She stated that taking 23andMe private will be the best opportunity for long-term success. Oh, she wants to take it private. All right, excuse me. Scratch that. I know why she wants to take it private. That makes all the sense in the world. And they're not saying why, but I'm going to talk about it in a couple minutes. 23andMe, which was valued at $6 billion in 2021, shortly after going public, is now a penny stock worth 30 cents per share. No shit, at the time of this writing. The company has until November 4th to bring its stock prices up to at least $1 or risk being delisted. That might be worth investing in. I'm going to look into it. 23andMe has faced a number of public setbacks, including data breach in October last year that impacted nearly 7 million accounts and appeared to target people in the Chinese and the Jewish ancestry. Listen to this carefully. Customers filed a class action lawsuit in January, and 23andMe proposed a $30 million settlement early this month. Now, the reason why she's taking it public wasn't because of the data breach. If you look at who they focused on the as Nazi Jew. Ashkenazi Nazi Jews. Remember what I said yesterday about the 23andMe finding out who is really Jewish and who is not. If they take it private, they do not have to disclose a lot of the information about who is Jewish and who is not. This lends to what's going on in the Middle East. And the people who are currently occupying Israel are not the real Jews. So, to take it public, you can bury that information and put that information under lock and key. This is why the data breach was only focused on the Chinese who were just part of it, and that is why they wanted to go private. Now, here's the more interesting part to this. Blackstone acquired Ancestry.com for $4.7 billion. Blackstone Group said on Wednesday it agreed to acquire the genealogy provider Ancestry.com from private equity rivals for $4.7 billion, including its debt, placing a big bet on family tree chasing as well as personalizing medicine. Blackstone wants to hide that information as well. This is very interesting because when I heard that theory about the whole Jew thing, I'm like, I don't see it. But now it makes more sense, especially Blackstone's timing of buying Ancestry.com and this lady's timing of last year, if I'm not mistaken, to make 23andMe go private. Not to mention the fact that either 23andMe or Ancestry.com were looking to copyright or trademark, your DNA. So Blackstone and BlackRock are Blackstone is a subsidiary of BlackRock. They are the same company, but they're not, right? It's like the Angry Prepper, and then you have the Angry Lensman and the Angry Truth Channel, if that makes sense. But that's very interesting. So Blackstone is hoping for more customers staying at home. Okay. All right. This gets even more interesting. All right. So Ancestry.com is the world's largest provider for DNA service, allowing customers to trace their genealogy and identify genetic health risk with tests sent to their homes. That I didn't know. Genetic health risk. Blackstone is hoping that more consumers stay at home amid the COVID-19 pandemic will turn to Ancestry.com for its services. No shit. This is how they make money as well? Get out of here. That I didn't know. They're using Mr. 19, COVID-19 testing as a service as well, and to see whether or not you have health issues. I wanted to take the test to see whether or not I had Alzheimer's. I'm not using them. I'd rather start finding out, like when I did what I did in the kitchen. That's part of Alzheimer's. Forgetting you put the fucking lid on. Anyway. We believe Ancestry has a significant runway for further growth as people of all ages and background become increasingly interested in learning more about their family histories and themselves. This is by David Gershenbaum, a Blackstone Senior Manager Director. The deal is Blackstone's first acquisition out of Blackstone Capital Partner 8, the largest ever private equity fund that raised $26 billion from investors last year. Ancestry.com has more than 3 million paying customers in about 30 countries. And earns more than $1 billion in annual revenue. Launched in 1996 as a family history website, it harnessed advanced in DNA testing and mobile phone apps in following 2 decades to expand its offering. Blackstone is buying Ancestry.com from private equity firm Silver Lake, Spectrum Equity, and Permira. Singapore's sovereign wealth fund GIC, another Ancestry.com investor, said it will continue to maintain a significant minority stake in the company. Oh boy. Attack of the Clones is right, J-Flow. Exactly. DNA can mutate. Dude, they could do what they want. So there's a lot of rumors about the DNA and them looking for, again, this is going to sound crazy, but supposedly looking for God in the DNA strand. And they've been closer and closer to unlocking a lot of the DNA strand. A lot of it is still uncharted, meaning they haven't broken it open yet. There's also the DNA strand they're looking for to turn on, which I think that's what they're referring to, the God DNA, is living forever. So if they can find that DNA strand, or rather unlock it, because I think they found it, but they're trying to unlock it. If they can unlock it, people can start living forever. They also want to unlock the aging process. There is a gene that can prevent you from aging, or rather age slower, And they've said that because they said they have found that to be in people, if you read the Bible, how people lived for hundreds of years. And they're looking for all of that. Some people are also arguing the Jesus bloodline thing. I did hear that, but I don't know how true that is. I could see them looking for the Jesus bloodline if that person is still around and still alive, which maybe that's why they're dumping all of this money into getting people to test their genes and to test their ancestry. They're looking for that as well. Listen, there's a lot of theories I heard about the God gene and the Jesus bloodline, and it only makes sense that they're dumping all of this money to both of these companies, Ancestry.com and 23andMe. 23andMe is probably going to be bought out by Blackstone very soon, if it hasn't already. So, one more thing to talk about is, again, this is mainstream media, so I don't know how true this is. Russia, Iran, and China are using AI in election interference efforts. Propagandists in China, Iran, and Russia are using artificial intelligence to create content designed to deceive Americans ahead of the November presidential election. In a conference call about foreign election interference efforts organized by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, officials said the U.S. intelligence community has concluded that AI has made it easier to create disinformation, but has not fundamentally changed the way those actors operate. The CIC considered AI a bad influence accelerant, not yet a revolutionary influence tool. In other words, the information operations are the threat and AI is the enabler. Listen, guys, AI is making shit a lot easier, and I do see the allure with some of the things it's being used for, but I would absolutely give up those treats to shut down AI altogether. AI is going to make things a lot more interesting, and there is something that I'm going to talk about AI. I'm going to do a video on it, but I touched on it before, but I can see AI, guys, doing something horrendous. I could see AI doing something where you'll see a large amount of people offering themselves and a large amount of people paying ransom, I guess. No, not ransom. They'd be paying people off to not let certain videos come out that are entirely false and not true. But because people are cowards, I could see it coming. And it's not good. The pedio shit is what I'm talking about. Costa Nostra. It's exactly what I'm talking about. But it's videos of you doing some very dangerous and evil shit. Meanwhile, it's not you. And it's not an actual child. But if the video's convincing enough and people believe it, people will turn on you. Whether it's true or not. But and that's what I'm more worried about, because I saw a video of Leonardo DiCaprio and Margot Robbie, and at first I looked at the video and I go, why is Leonardo DiCaprio sitting there like that? And I'm looking at the video and I'm like, that's Margot Robbie? It took me a while to recognize it. I'm staring at it. I'm like, holy shit, that's not even them. I'm like, and once I saw the situation in the background, I'm like, no, that's not them. And I looked at it, and I'm like, that was damn fucking scary, because it looked like it was them, but it wasn't. So imagine them putting you in a compromising position in a video that you were not in or nowhere near. Someone said Kamala Harris is going down soon. She will be resigning. Aaron 22C22, why would you say that? That's interesting, but why would you say that? So basically, guys, the propaganda machine in AI is going to go in full effect. And it's going to make things a lot harder for this election, though I think a lot of us can see through it. But when they perfect AI, guys, it will be incredibly hard to tell the difference between what's fantasy and what's not. Last story to talk about, Iran deflects Hezbollah's request to attack Israel as it steps up its strike. Hezbollah asks its Iranian patrons to attack, I read this yesterday, two Israeli officials exit. I read this yesterday. A lot of you guys know Hezbollah is stating right now that they do not want to help Iran. Reverse that. Iran is stating they don't want to help Hezbollah right now. Again, I thought Iran was going to be all in once this stuff started happening, and then when I read this, I was like, holy shit. So even they're stepping away from Hezbollah. Listen, something big could be going on. The October surprise, guys, could be just that. A giant surprise, because there's a lot going on, and that brick pack has broken apart. They were going to replace Kamala Harris anyway, so I like to know. Oh, no shit. If that comes out about Kamala Harris, Aaron, If that comes out about Kamala Harris, not that that will end her campaign, but it will definitely do some damage. Aaron, do me a favor. Email me at angrytruth@gmail.com and let me know where your source is, but let me know where you got it from, whether that was a YouTube channel or an actual source. I am very curious about it, because that would be something interesting if that came out about her. Very interesting. Anyway, guys, I ran over the time. Usually it's a half hour. We did about 50 minutes. But, yeah, Susan, that's the thing. A lot of things have already gone down. Everybody's like, how much worse can it get? Oh, it could get a fucking hell of a lot worse. We haven't seen anything yet. We haven't seen anything yet, guys. The shit that we're going to see is going to be nothing. Again, I won't say a nightmare, but it's definitely going to get shit a lot more interesting. There'll be a lot of interesting shit going on in the next couple weeks. Never mind the next couple months, and never mind leading up to the election. I mean, to the inauguration. Whoever gets inaugurated. Rocktober. I like that. But we could definitely see some interesting shit in the next couple of weeks, man. Because every day it's like, oh man, this is getting a lot better. The whole Diddy thing, so interesting. And you know, it's funny, like with the Justin Bieber shit, I didn't like Justin Bieber. I mean, I still don't, but I feel bad for him now. I feel bad for how the way he was treated. And the reason why he lashed out and acted the way he did was because he was treated like shit his entire life, starting with his mother. His mother's a piece of shit. Bottom line. I've never seen anybody as anybody who would do that to their kid and put their kid out on the fucking market like that and let another adult convince you to sign over guardianship of your child. That's bad, man. That's very bad. And the fact that somebody is willing to do that for money, because she didn't do that for free. She did not sign over her kid's guardianship for free. I would be surprised, utterly surprised, if Justin Bieber's still talking to his mother. I'd be floored if he's still talking to his mom at this point. But Justin Bieber right now has two choices: cry himself to sleep, stand his fucking ground, and rat Diddy and the entire industry out, and just take the bullet, man. Take it. You know? 50 Cent's mother did too. Did what too? Pimped him out? But yeah, I mean, listen. That and yo, if he did that, he'd be a strong man. If Justin Bieber, the softest looking kid on this planet, right now did a video and outed everybody for what they did, Ortiz said, yep, no shit. Oh, well, wasn't Diddy's mother like, no kidding? Is that a rumor or is that confirmed? Because I know that Diddy's mother was a prostitute. Or she was sleeping around or some shit like that. There was that talk. But if she did that to him, listen, the only thing for a guy to do in that situation is own it. To run away from it is a bad idea. So is Usher's mom. No shit. Well, Usher's mom I could definitely see. You never pimp your kids out. But if only thing for a guy to do is own it. If a guy was fucking touched or raped, you gotta own it. That is how you separate yourself from children, and that's how you make yourself stronger. You own that shit. If Justin Bieber owns it right now, the guy would look like a fucking legend. He was like, yes, this happened to me, and I wish it didn't. He would be such the fucking legend right now. Yo, I mean, and if he threw his mother under the bus, he would be, he would go down in history as the fucking guy that destroyed the music industry. Because right now, Puffy is absolutely destroying the music industry. But if Bieber did it, legendary status. They'd have statues of this dude for fucking doing what he did and what should have been done decades ago. In Hollywood, decades ago. Big Soul. Yeah, everybody knew Usher was gay back in the 90s. Like, again, guys, so a small background. My circle of friends wasn't always big, but it was decent size when I was younger. And I always had people in the music industry because I was trying to be a DJ at one time. And I did DJ. I DJed parties here and there. But I had enough friends who were in the music industry because everybody wanted to rap back then. Not me, because I was a poor rapper. I'd be that ass of like, 2 + 2 is 4, yo. You know, like, and then it'd be the worst rapping in the world. I'd be that guy, but like, yo, you not black. You can't rap. And I was one of those guys, right? But I knew a lot of people in the music industry. And it was always like third-party shit, though, right? So we all knew about Diddy and his diddling back then. We all knew about Usher and Luther Vandross, or Tevin Campbell and Luther Vandross. We knew about that shit. Yo, Prince. People make Prince to be this fucking rock star god. Prince was a piece of shit. Piece of shit. Anybody who wanted to name a girl Vagina, which we all know as Vanity, you're a piece of shit. Prince wasn't this fucking legendary good guy. He wasn't. He was into some crazy shit too. Let's not go there because people are like, you're demonizing his name. Oh well. So we knew all of this shit in the 90s, guys. This is not this is new to a lot of you guys, but this wasn't new to us. The baby oil shit, I didn't know anything about back then, and he wasn't into it that heavily. But Puffy was a piece of shit back in the days. Starting from his so-called drug dealing days, his father used to run with, was it Frank White? A notorious gangster. His father ran with. That's why Puffy had that untouchable attitude, because who his father was and who his father knew. So we all knew this, and we all knew the shit that Puffy was in. When we start hearing the rumors about Jennifer Lopez and the shit that she was into with Puffy, we knew it was true, but no one cared. And when people try to out him, they went missing, or their music careers were destroyed. Puffy destroyed people's music career because he could. Not because he had to, because he wanted to. And these are the things, guys, that were talked about forever. And nobody listened. And now it's all coming out. And now all of us who talked about it for a while. And Jaguar Wright, she was the first one to throw him under the bus. Cat Williams, another one to throw him under the bus. And no one listened. No one listened to 50 Cent when he was talking about this shit. There were rappers who stepped away from Puffy and were like, yo, I don't want any part of this shit. And their careers took a bit of a hit. Look at Craig Mack. Fucking poor guy died down south somebody in the fucking community because nobody wanted to deal with him. Right? So, again, all of this shit guys talked about and nobody fucking wanted to hear it. Now this stuff needs to come out, and people like Justin Bieber need to out the entire industry. That industry, guys, is ran by the devil, is ran by Satan. It is why one of the videos I saw with Usher, if you looked at Usher when he first started and you look at Usher now, Usher has this darkness to his eyes. And not like, or his eye, like around here, the bags, not his eye socket, his iris is darker, almost black. A lot of these politicians have a darker iris in their eyes, giving them the illusion that they have black eyes. Nonetheless, that's a lot of evil shit going on, and it just got worse. Introducing the baby oil and the dildos, oh my god. There's rumor that Obama and Obama's on video doing some shit with somebody at P. Diddy's place. I don't know if it's Puff Daddy or not, but there's some violating shit on there. So yeah, a lot of shit is Odell supposedly was getting head from Justin Bieber at a nightclub, and it was on video. And what was on video was Justin Bieber coming up from between Odell Beckham's legs. So yeah, there's a lot of suspicious videos out there. That video was just a red flag in itself. You don't come up from between some guy's legs. What are you, praising him? Anyway, all of this is coming out. I'm surprised Jaguar Wright is still alive. I didn't know who this chick was till a few months ago, or about a year ago now, excuse me. And when she started talking all this shit, and people were like, yeah, Jaguar Wright was this, that, and the third. I'm like, I never heard of this chick before. But now I'm all about it. And the shit that she talked about with Will Smith, Jada Pinkett. Yo, these people are oddly quiet now. Everybody's oddly quiet. So yeah, Obama's chef was a giant red flag. J Flow, giant red flag. Obama's chef was like, yo, seriously, this guy went swimming in that lake all the time and he died just then. I think he walked in on something. I think he walked in on Big Mike. That's what I think he walked in on. I think he walked in on it and goes, oh my God, she has a cock. And then, like, you know, he was just like dead in the fucking lake and shit. Had to be. Because that was a crazy story. And Michelle Obama, excuse me, the Obama daughters were there, or one of them was there at the time. People like, there's something coming out about the Obama kids. Something coming out about them and their DNA. Maybe that's another reason why this shit with the ancestry are going down. But there was something with their DNA. I wish I could remember what it was. But just know those kids are not theirs. Like, not at all. And I pointed it out to people. Look at the girls. Look at Michelle Obama. And look at Barack. Those kids do not look like neither of them. And she admitted on stage that she had IVF, which she couldn't have had IVF either. Because it come to find out that when people started questioning her daughter, she dropped it, oh, I had IVF. So they might not be related to me in that sense. I did carry them. There's no pregnant pictures of Michelle Obama. Not one. Yes, Daryl Calhoun, I know it's not their kids. Right? Those are not their kids. A lot, and again, when you look at them, they do not look like anything like them. Like, not even close. And Michelle Obama has, if she was a chick, let's just say she was a chick, she has distinct features that one of the kids or both of the kids would have, and neither of those kids have either of those features. So that world is falling apart, and there are going to be a lot of missing folks soon. You're going to see a lot of people dying all of a sudden. So yeah, not their kids. Aaron, I have Telegram, but I'm like barely on it. Barely on it. But yeah, listen, guys, all of it's starting to come out. And I can guarantee you, those kids did a 23andMe test, and they found out that those are not their parents. That's why those kids are so distant from them now. If you notice, those kids are not around them a lot. Even when they do political runs and shit like that, they're not around them a lot. That's interesting. Got a fucking bug bite on my arm. Anyway, guys, all of that said, it's all falling apart. Susan, there are no baby pictures of Michelle Obama. There are no child pictures of her. And there are more importantly, no pregnant pictures of Michelle Obama. 0. People looked him up when he was running for president and they couldn't find any of them. That's why the rumors started. Every woman, guys, every chick on this planet, even fucking Mobutu's wife, has, at the very least, a sand drawing of her pregnant. Every woman has a picture of them pregnant. Everybody. And not one picture of her pregnant. Nope, no pictures of her as a child. None, period. 0. Like, somebody was trying to say that Kamala Harris was a dude, and I'm like, there are pictures of her as a little girl, right? A ton of pictures of her as a kid, actually. So that goes out of the window. But Michelle Obama, not one. I tell people all the time, find me a fucking picture of her pregnant and as a child. But anyway, whoa, I went way over. Excuse me. Sorry for this, guys. Anyway, thank you for joining me. We could definitely do another discussion on this topic alone. I mean, I could spend all day on this shit for all of this shit that doesn't connect and no facts. Ultrasound doesn't prove anything, but there's no pictures of her at all. Now, could they do some AI generated shit? They probably could. And then they'll be like, oh, look what we found. Get the fuck out of here. I can't, what you call it, whatever. Kamala Harris is a Zanny queen. She's definitely a drug user and an alcoholic. I'm gonna tell you right now, Kamala Harris is an alcoholic. without a doubt. You know, and there are certain times when she talks, she slurs her speech because she's coming out of her stupor. All right. Enough. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for following me today. And I will see you guys Friday for the doubleheader. All right, guys, thank you.